This is not the one you do for center music. That's all right. That's good. Good. We have an extra opening piece this morning. Come right up, and please remember not to hang on the mic.
Thank you. Let me get you you can hit my hand with something like a ruler, maybe. At least I was never left-handed and had that. Anyway, my name is Tom Moore. I'm the outgoing president of the board, and the good news is our administrative year is ending in June, which means we will be electing or electing new board members. Some of us are not eligible to be on the board because of past service. Our bylaws have some stipulations about that. We have come up, and thank Gordon for his hard work on this, with a list of the people we think are eligible. It's this list, and it is on the table next to the hymnals. Our request is that you look at those and underline or circle people for whom you would like to nominate, and then we can check out. Of course, we would never elect someone who didn't want to be on the board, but we would appreciate your help in this regard. Otherwise, it will fall to us. And since we have the membership list, we do know where you live, so we can come get you. But it would be a help to us anyway. So if you would take one of these sheets, we will need a president-elect, a secretary-elect, and a treasurer-elect, and 2 board members. So we're looking for 5 people. And just help us out here. You can just underline or circle, and then if you want to nominate them for an office, just write that in, and then you can give it to me or any other board member. So appreciate you doing that. And I also want to remind people that the annual meeting will be after church on June the 9th. So we will in church, you can have your coffee and whatever, and then come back here and we will take care of all that business after service that day. So please note that date. Thank you. Ma'am. President-elect, Secretary-elect, and Treasurer-elect. We have those they were nominated, the ones for this coming year were nominated and elected last year, so we need to, so these would be for the next, whatever year that is. Those of you who understand time travel might understand that better than me. So anyway, but we deem those officers, and thank you for your help in that.
I am also a microphone hanger-oner, so I will try to do better. Today, we are going to Bar Louie after church. This is in lieu of our Friends Night Out this month. You don't have to have signed up. We did not have a sign-up sheet, but I will want a count so that when we get there, we know how many people to ask them to prepare a table for. We're hoping to eat outside if it's nice, and we can maybe find something that's a little shady because it's going to get warm. After that, for those who want, we are going to Wesselman Park to hear the I Camp Quartet. It is free. So if you are interested in joining us in either or both of those things, please let me know before you walk out the door today or before I walk out the door, so that when I get to the restaurant, I can say, we need 10 seats or we need 75 seats, however many we need. Also, I need to know if there's anyone online who's planning to meet us at Bar Louie. Can I get a count for that now? Is there anybody? We don't know. Can you signal them or something, Nancy, just to find out if anybody's coming? Okay, all right. Also, on the 2nd of June, it's coming up pretty quickly now, it's our church picnic, so don't forget that. It will be in lieu of church service on the 2nd. It will be in the shelter at Wesselman Park. It is shelter number 1 on the west side, correct? West. Please bring a side dish. We will be providing water and paper goods and chicken, and all of the side dishes and desserts and whatever else you want to bring is up to you. So please bring something. Join us for a morning of, see, I had to put my hands in my pocket so I didn't touch the microphone. Join us for a morning of just good times and camaraderie and getting to know each other a little better in the sunshine. We're not going to have rain that day. I decided.
And bring chairs.
It's at 10 o'clock, yes.
Bring chairs.
I'm sorry?
Bring chairs.
Bring chairs, yes, bring chairs. Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning. Our next family game night is Friday, May 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. So please come if you are willing and able. We have sometimes the Bridge Club comes and plays bridge, and we have all sorts of other fun games and things to do. So we have snacks, bring your own games if you want, bring your own drinks if you want, but we'll have stuff here. So don't feel like you have to bring anything. But family game night, Friday, May 31st from 6 to 9.
Molly, do we have any announcements at home?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's transform our welcoming statement into action by taking a few moments to greet each other. And please to return to your seats when you hear the chime, but before you do, the camera's there, wave to the folks at home. We are so blessed with Bill and his musicianship. And before I continue with the service, I just want to, better? Better? Before I continue in the service, I want to thank Ken, Barbara, and Sharon on their assist in the insurance. You know those days that something goes wrong? Multiple things go wrong, right? So that's what happened to me today. So I appreciate having the support of those in my community when those things did go wrong this morning. So thanks again for Bill's beautiful playing. Is that better? Sounding better? Great. So now it's time for the chalice lighting. May I have a volunteer, please? The chalice reading is from Annie Forrester. Come we now out of the darkness. Come we now out of the darkness of our unknowing and the dust of our dreaming. Come we now from far places. Come we now into the twilight of our awakening and the reflection of our gathering. Come we now all together. We bring unilluminated our dark caves of doubting. We seek unbedazzled the clear light of understanding. May the spark our love and unshadow our days. Come we now enter the dawning. And for the offertory, if you are a guest, please let the plate pass. Your presence is a gift. May I have 2 volunteers? The offertory reading is by Alice Onacheka Naisman, Honoring Church Ancestors. Let us take a moment to honor the ancestors of this church, the people who first came together to create a home of liberal religion here in Evansville, Indiana, who worked to raise the money for a building, who sat in committee meetings and created bylaws, who chopped and marinated and baked for potlucks, who painted and weeded and pounded nails and washed countless dishes, who gathered to worship, to learn, grieve, to heal, to serve, to build justice, to transform their lives and this world. We, the recipients of an incredible gift and beautiful vision, let us do our part to keep this congregation strong, vital, and thriving for the generations to come. This morning offering is gratefully received. And now is time for the story for all ages. And Sharon has gratefully offered, kind of been forced to read My Lazy Cat. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God, I gave her the wrong one. So it's The Quiet Girl. I had 3 things to read. No, you're good. You're good.
Will we be coming forward or not? No? Okay, then I'm going to stand up here, right? Pause my book. Okay. All right, this is called The Quiet Girl by Peter Carnivus, and obviously this was kind of a last-minute thing because we weren't even sure what book we were reading, so forgive me if I stumble at all. Mary was a quiet girl. She thought quiet thoughts, stepped quiet steps, and whispered quiet words. Be careful, bird. Because Mary was quiet, she heard things nobody else heard. A dragonfly buzzing through the air, the soft sigh of the sleeping dog next door, the gentle creak of the tree at the end of her street. Mary had always been quiet, but there was just one problem. Nobody could hear her. I met a bird today. Mother is blow drying her hair. Speak up, honey. A small gray bird. Her brother has earphones on. Huh? Called a peaceful dove. Dad has the blender going. Use a nice loud voice. So Mary tried to speak up. The peaceful dove feeds on the ground, but roosts and nests in shrubs and trees. Look at me. Still not. And the dog says woof, and the weed eater says buzz, and the lawnmower says, this is your line. So Mary decided to be quieter than she had ever been before. She's just by herself on the swing, being quiet. Suddenly, the world unfolded around Mary as her senses filled with more beautiful things, a leaf hanging from a fine thread of spider silk, the smell of freshly cut grass, the tickle of breeze ruffling her hair. Soon she became so quiet. She felt like she just wasn't there. At first, nobody missed Mary. Brother is on the saxophone. It says, blurt. That's what it says. Bark is the dog. Mom's talking on the phone. It says blah, 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 blah. He said, Mom, is it the bird? Where is Mary? She looks in the bedroom, Mary. She looks under the bed, Mary. Mary, called Mom. Blurp, said her brother on the saxophone. Mary, called Dad. Aroo, said the dog. Mary! Their calls grew louder and louder. Mary, Mary, Mary! Until the whole neighborhood echoed with the sound of Mary's name. Mary, 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 Mary. Finally, Mom and Dad stopped calling. They fell silent and listened. Wind chimes clinked in the breeze. Bees hummed as they danced in the clover. See the little wind chime there going clink, clack. And then at last, the most marvelous sound of all, Mary's voice singing a small song. La la di da. Mary, said Mom, have you been here the whole time? Yes, whispered Mary. But we didn't hear you, said Dad, until we were quiet, said Mary. They didn't ask her to speak up or use a nice loud voice. Instead, they sat beside her and listened for all the small, wonderful things that lay hidden in the world. The end.
I had 3 possible choices for the story today, and I mentioned the wrong one. The Lazy Cat is really good too. And we're singing the children out, so you ready? Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. The opening words are by Joanna Fontaine Crawford. Every third Thursday. Every third Tuesday, I am a Buddhist. I empty my mind and lighten my heart and try to let go of attachments. Every other Friday, I am a Christian, and I look for the least of these and try to love God and my neighbor. The full moon of the months find me Wiccan. I honor the dual nature of God and find my rhythms as maiden, mother, or crone. On the 15th of the month, I'm a humanist. I respect science, integrity of fellow humans, and all that we have learned and made. On every 4th Wednesday, I am Hindu. I take a breath and understand that what is unfinished now will remain for me to continue next life. On alternate Fridays, I am Jewish, and I'm going to totally butcher the Hebrew of this next line, so I'm not even going to try and disrespect the Hebrew. I tell my children, softly touching each head. I tried to do it, and I butchered every time. And the Thursdays and the Mondays and the Saturdays and the Sundays and all the other days in between find me reading or listening or watching. Philosophers, Muslims, Mormons, Baha'i, and more fill my heart, touch my soul, And yet, the one thing that none of these provide to me is the certitude that they are the one. They lead me wisdom, sing to my heart, cause me to question, help me to find answers, make me more me. And at the end of the day, every day, I am Unitarian Universalist, impartial and in pledge, and with all my heart and all my soul, all my mind and all my strength, I honor this faith. I hold it close as it lets me run free. There's someone in the back of the room that is doing the silent applause. That's what I'm smiling so big. And now is the time that we share sorrows and joys. In our community, we take time each week to share pieces of ourselves and our lives with one another. We do this because each person in this community has value. Each person's experience matters. Dear to share. Let us take a moment of silent meditation, prayer, or contemplation, and then we will sing number 123 in the gray hymnal, Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice, I would like to start the message with a grounding exercise. So please be comfortable. Get comfortable in your seat. This is going to be the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding exercise. I've done it before in the service. You might be familiar. It's one of the easiest mindfulness strategies. It's good for managing stress and anxiety, and it can be done almost anywhere, at any time, and it's also very effective. Using the 5 senses grounds us in the now, and this is how it works. Name 5 things you can see. Take a moment to spot 5 things in your immediate environment. It can be anything that you can see. Above you, below you, beside you, anything you can see. Think about the details of the color, the texture, its form. Now name 4 things you can hear. Close your eyes and listen to the noises around you. They could be anything from the fan above us, birds singing, the traffic noises, the people around you, the sounds of the building, movement, your own or others. These sounds help you move your mind away from inward concerns out to the world around you. It helps anchor you in the present moment. Name 3 things you can feel physically. Pay attention to your sense of touch. This grounds you further. Be aware of 3 things you can feel. The fabric of your clothes against your skin, the texture of an item you're maybe holding, the chair against your back or bum, the floor beneath you, jewelry that you may be having against your body, eyewear that may be on your face, something that may be pinching. Now name 2 things you can smell. Take a deep breath and identify 2 distinct smells around you. They could be the aroma of the coffee that has been made waiting for us, the clean scent of soap from your hands, shampoo, lotion, perfume, fabric softener on your clothes, the scent of the person next to you, scents help you stop looping thoughts. and helps you concentrate on the present moment. And now name one thing you can taste. You might want to take a sip of water or a beverage if you have it. Or you might have the lingering flavor of toothpaste or a cup of coffee that you may have sipped, or another beverage you had sipped earlier. For me, it's the cough drop I have in my mouth. Centering in this final, it helps complete the cycle and firmly brings you back to the present moment. You are here in this present moment. I wanted to start with a grounding moment because some of the things that I'm going to bring up may be a little challenging for us. I'm going to start with a quote by Ricardo Levens Morales. I mispronounced. The work we do should be slow, deep, and irreversible. I heard about this quote indirectly. April Baskin was on a panel in San Francisco recently and was talking about white supremacy, anti-Semitism, and anti-Black racism. She used the quote there. And I heard about it because I follow Desiree Attaway on LinkedIn. She wrote about it because this phrase had not left her brain or spirit. And she said, when April had said those words, I felt something shift deep within me. I'm going to repeat the quote. The work we do should be slow, deep, and irreversible. I had very much the same reaction. The work I was called to do in this lifetime is not the work that pays the bills. I've always felt called to go deeper within and to work meaningfully outwardly. The people and the systems around me weren't set up to support that call. In many ways, both small and profound, they worked to suppress or smother that call. Perhaps you felt that way too. That call was spiritual. It was a call to justice. It was a call to healing. It was a call for community. Because spirituality is all of those things. While spirituality can be private between myself and what I call the divine, as I understand it, if it doesn't connect to others, it's incomplete. The instant world we live in with all our technology didn't evolve as it is for no reason. Bias was built into the system. Mindfulness was never a capitalist value. Urgency was. Distraction was. If everything is urgent, you never catch your breath. So let's do this. Let's take a moment to catch our breath. Take a moment to breathe in. And breathe out. What are the systems that cut us off from our spirituality? Foundationally, our patriarchal, dominating, culture laid the groundwork for an elite minority to have women who would produce the males who would protect their ever-growing wealth and endless war. This has led to the capitalist economic system that supports the same elite, and that leads to the white supremacy that also supports the systems today. Ponder for a moment just some of the ways those systems have cut you off from your humanity and spirituality, that have distracted you and led you to not be able to connect to yourself, those you love, your community, or even those you disagree with. Just pause for a moment to consider that. Everything on planet Earth starts with a breath, even the planet herself. Let's take another breath now. Breathe in and breathe out. How can we genuinely connect to our spiritual possibilities? I have a reading from Melissa Jeter. Healing begins with breath in the body. And her reading starts with a quote from Resmaa Menakem. It's a quote from his book, My Grandmother's Hands. And the quote is from October 4th of 2023. We've tried to teach our brains to think better about race, but white body supremacy doesn't live in our thinking brain. It lives and breathes in our bodies. And then Melissa begins her essay, or her words. When I think about the earth as a woman's body, I get angry. When I think about the earth as a Black woman's body, I think of myself, and I want to shake everything and everyone off of my body. They need not be men. They may be women, but they could have been any person, being, or ideology, or religion that reaches, pokes, squeezes, digs into, and empties out of my flesh the diamonds, the oil, the precious minerals, blood, the unseen spirits and gases, but never, ever cares to be in a reciprocal, tender, loving, and grateful relationship with me. The eyes that trail the curves, that widen when they stare at my dark brown coily hair. I want their eyes off of me. Before anyone can touch me, I have twisted and roiled and tried to shake the bastards off my brown body. My beautiful brown body. When I feel my body, and I am in it, I have access to this great amount of power in my hips. There is no gap between my thighs worth celebrating. All should be thankful for the lack of gap and the fleshiness and muscle beneath. I am. I am grateful for the strength in these thighs that lunge forward and backward while I curl 8-pound weights in my hands. I am pushing down with my hands and rooting down with my feet, and I am strong, connected, and worth the tenderness that is in love and respect. How can I feel authentic in my body when beings want a relationship of exploitation and control, of power over me, as if I ceased to be thou? How could I dare to accept my body, this earth, as less than the mind, when the largest road to my security travels from the gut to my early original brain? When and where am I to be whole in the presence of such an approach to relating? Bodily prayer. I pray in vocal explanation. Dear God, I pray in body, first on my knees, then in child's pose. I breathe and I lunge forward, one knee bent in front, the other behind, stretching my hip abductors, stretching my thighs. I raise my arms up, chest to sky. I breathe into the spaces where my body has been attacked. Spirit and breath, take this oxygen to these places, and in these spaces, create an openness that violence has constricted. I breathe in healing and exhale overwhelming violence. I stretch into mercy. I inhale compassion. I read that piece because most of the works about spirituality keep you in your head. I want you to stay in your body when you approach the topic of spirituality. I want you to think of your body as a temple, as the source of significant information and guidance. Listen to it. Check in with it throughout your day. Talk to your body with love. Gaze at it with appreciation and respect. Let it ground your spiritual path. Treat it with the ecological care you want to treat Gaia, planet Earth. Take it slow. It takes time to read your body and understand its cues. Its messages will be authentic and pure. Take a moment. If you have any questions, concerns, think about it for a moment. Anything to share? Any comments, questions?
About why am I here? So, as many of you know, I've had more than one opportunity to part this earth, including my near-death experience, which was a big one, but the traumatic brain injury made it even more clear. I've separated myself from my family because they were so incredibly shallow. Emotionally, there was never any connection between me and them. And I mean, none of them. My mother a little bit, my father not at all. Which is unfortunate because he might have been an interesting person to know if he'd ever let me in. And I might have been interesting for him to know if he ever asked a question, which he didn't. Not a single one, ever. About who are you and what do you do? What do you like? Nothing. So what you said, Jennifer, and what you read opened me up to think about the way this lifetime has been structured for me in a way that's a little inescapable. And it's opened me up. I'm separated from them so I could be here with people that do have more interest in who others are, what they think, what they believe. It's just an openness that was never there for me when I was growing up, and it makes a huge difference for me to really recognize that. So thank you for helping me to open my eyes more clearly. I was already suspicious anyway, or had thought about it, but this made it even more clear. Thank you.
I'm very short. I'm glad you talked about this. I'm glad I came today. I've told a couple of you that I'm quitting my current job at the end of June. A lot of that is because the longer I work there, the more I wish I wrote poetry, the more I wish I went hiking, the more I work for the weekends. Weekends make up less than a third of the year. I've been very disconnected. I'm glad that you talked about the body because a lot of the internal work that I do tends to separate me more and more from my body. I have a lot of things that have happened in my past that make me not really want to be inside of it. And I think a lot of the disconnect has actually been that I don't pay attention to my body very often. So I just wanted to say thank you.
And if we listen to our bodies, it can tell us, do I feel safe here? Does this place feel home to me? Am I learning something here? If you learn to pay attention to your body, it tells you, is this an authentic place for me? Am I connecting to a person authentically? Am I stiff? And everybody's body is different. You respond differently. And if you begin to have a relationship of listening to your body and how it responds to different situations, you can better learn your own body's vocabulary, which gives you more information. It's not all here. Your body is an encyclopedia of the world around you. And you're going like, my body feels this way when I'm with this person, or my body feels this way when I'm in that environment. Maybe I need to pay more attention to that. And you can go deeper. And our culture doesn't teach us to do that. And if you can connect to your body, that's a pathway to spirituality. It gives you tons of spiritual information when you connect to your own physical self. Does anyone at home have anything to share?
No, thank you, though.
Okay, our closing words. Oops. Wait, we're going to our closing hymn. It's going to be number 128, All That Is Our Life, in the Gray Hymnal.
All that is our life, we say. is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. Sorrow that we bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing with thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Thank you. And the words to extinguish our chalice are in your order of service, and they are also number 4, 5, 6 in the gray hymnal. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth. The closing words are by Emily Richards. Our work has just begun. Please take a moment to be present, to pause and to notice how you are in this moment. Our work here today is at an end. Our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love. The work of trusting that we are on the right path. The work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us. The work of engaging in what makes us whole. The work of deeper understanding and commitment. The work of letting go of that which does not serve us. The work of radical inclusion. The work of collective liberation. The work of this beloved community, a beloved community of which we are all a part, a place where we are welcomed, respected, valued, and cherished, a place where we belong. Go in peace, amen, and blessed be.